folks, one of the difficult things for Republicans is to have such a hardcore right-winger extremist like Paul Ryan on the vice presidential ticket, a guy who believes in zygotes being people, and a guy who believes in that women should have vaginal ultrasounds, whether they are medically necessary or not, as a gatekeep to choosing to terminate a pregnancy if they want. A guy who wants to shut down basically all government services except for the military. A guy who wants to throw literally tens of millions of children and elderly off of the Medicaid and Medicare rolls. A guy who wants to cut taxes for the wealthy. It's very hard, if you are a Republican down ticket, to stick out and make a name for yourself. And U.S. Representative Todd Akin, who is running as a Republican in Missouri for Senate against Claire McCaskill. And, of course, Claire McCaskill is a pretty conservative Democrat. So this guy really has to stake out some positions that are going to appeal to the meat eaters in his party. Told reporters at the Missouri State Fair that he doesn't think the federal government should be providing things like school lunches to poor children in school. He told reporters that he opposes federal spending for the National School Lunch Program, which provides cash and surplus food for nearly 650,000 school lunches in Missouri each day. Is it something the federal government should do? Akin said. I answer it no. I think the federal government should be out of the education business. I mean, this is a notion of how stunning this is. And he goes off, he says, like, maybe it should be something the state does. How is the state going to pay for this? We have states cutting over 200,000 teachers in the past 3 years. We have states cutting 50,000 cops, 50,000 firefighters, emergency specialists. We have states cutting people who fix roads. How are states going to pay for these kids to eat lunch? And what are they supposed to do? We could talk about how education is important in this country, but give a kid no food and see how much he or she learns in schools. I mean, there is a whole Republican platform predicated on attacking poor children. And for those of you who think this is demagoguery, few conservative listeners, or those of you who may see this on YouTube, how is it demagoguery to say that when you want to cut school lunches for children, that you are attacking poor children? That's what you're doing. Doesn't matter what the language you use. Akin has voted against the school lunch program as a member of Congress. This used to be something that was completely uncontroversial. But now, of course, the nut jobs have taken over the Republican Party, enabled the corporatist Dems, and continue their war on the poor. Why not do it at the state level? I'm not against school lunches, but I have a question whether the federal government should be doing as many things as it should be doing, and one would have to take a look at that. Well, how is it going to happen? What happens when the states raise taxes and there's a referendum to cut taxes? We're not going to increase property taxes. How is it going to get done? It's simply not going to get done. He knows this. It's unbelievable. Claire McCaskill probably will have a pretty good chance in this state, because I just don't think that normal people, and I think there are normal people in every state in this country, I just don't think normal people want to say to poor kids who need school lunches, F you. F you.